What is going on, guys? Today we are working on the Cutlass again. I've noticed the last couple times that I've driven it, there has been a bunch of oil underneath the car. So I started it and I have pinpointed where it's coming from. Right here, if I can get in here real quick. Right there. That is the oil pressure line to my oil pressure gauge. Right where that line, this line right there, right where that meets with the fitting is leaking. It's gushing out oil as I drive, and when the car sits, it'll start to overflow. So today we are going to be changing that with new fittings I got. So we're gonna get to it and see how this goes. So before I start, I think the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just disconnect that line completely. Before I cut it, I'm gonna take that line off. It's a 3/8 and 7/16. So I'm gonna get that off and we'll go from there. This little cone right here isn't really sliding, so I'm actually just gonna cut right here, cut this whole line off because I do have a little bit extra, and then we are going to take that other fitting off. So let's get to cutting and we'll see how this goes. All right, so we cut this line off with a brake line cutter. So that's pretty good, it's a clean cut. Now we're gonna work on that one right here by getting that off with a 7/16 wrench. All right, it's coming loose, we just gotta spin it off here. All right, and there we go. All right, so because I got it all off, I just wanted to show you how this works here. So you thread this into the intake, and it was leaking right here. So if you take that off, there's a little tiny little cone, but it wasn't making a good seal, so it would leak out of there, right where that seal is. I tried tightening this, and it was just getting more loose, so I just decided to get a whole new one right here. So we're gonna be swapping these over, and I will show you how to do that right now. So as you can see, it's like a universal kit. So they gave me a couple different sizes. Just comparing the original one, I'm assuming that it's going to be this one. All right, hopefully my camera doesn't fall while I record this. I have it balancing, but I have the new fitting right here. I put Teflon tape around it. And I also have the other nut. And I also have the new cone, the sealer. Put this on, again, this is 7/16. I'm gonna thread it into that hole right there. And then we'll put the little tapered cone thing on there with the nut, and we should be all done. So okay, so we got that tightened down to what I think is pretty tight, especially with the Teflon tape on there. Gotta take the new nut, put that on first, and then the brass cone, and then you have to push this into this hole. You will feel it stop. You push this in here like that, right there, and that is bottomed out. I can't push this copper line down anymore. So then you will take the cone right there and slide this nut. Make sure the cone's on there. Slide this nut on there, keeping pressure on this line. You want to make sure it's straight. And then you want to tighten that nut down as much as you can. And then you want to take your wrench and tighten that down. All right, so I have that tied down there, and I also threaded that on with a couple turns. I'm gonna straighten this line out a little bit. On camera it looks kinked, but it's just coming at me, so it looks a little sharper than it actually is. I'm going to start the car up, and we'll watch that and see if it leaks. Hopefully it doesn't. And then we shall be done. So let's start this car up and see if it gushes out oil like it did last time. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, so as you saw on that, I believe I fixed it. No more leaking. I wish I got a before video, because as soon as you started the car, right where that metal line goes in, it was just gushing while the car was running. And knock on wood, as of right now, I don't even see a drip. So I believe that that problem is fixed. So no more oil leaks. But yeah, so if you guys found this video somewhat helpful, please like and subscribe. I'm glad I found that when I did, because this could have been a huge problem down the line. So like I said, I'm glad I fixed that. So hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. See you guys later.